Norm Lewis is a familiar face on Broadway and on TV, and he's now starring in the new Spike Lee film, Da 5 Bloods, about a group of 4 black veterans who returned to Vietnam decades after the war. Take a look.
I'm telling it's a stone cold trip being back here in country.
Baby, we got off that plane, got a heat, hit me upside the head, kabop, just like in 68.
Yeah, brother man, we are back. The Bloods is back.
Our bloods don't die, we just multiply.
Yeah.
Soon to be 5. Amen.
And Norm is here with me now. Norm, it is so good to see you. Wow, is this film powerful?
Oh yeah. You said it. It's so timely. I mean, who knew?
Yeah, I was going to say that it feels like a history lesson and a modern day story about friendship. So what does it feel like to release this film right now?
It's just so significant because of the fact that I guess Spike was prophetic in his capturing this whole story. We learned a lot while we got over there, the rest of the cast. We had no idea about the black culture that was in Vietnam. And it's so interesting because you see all these other stories and you see a smattering of African-American soldiers, but we didn't know the disproportionate amount that were sent over there until this was released. We read a book called Bloods. That's the name of it. It's called Bloods, and this is based on that. I've just found out recently, at the time, African Americans made up 11% of the United States, but yet we made up 33% of the soldiers that went to Vietnam. So there was a disproportionate amount of people that went there. So there was history that was left out, and I feel like because of the current circumstances, I think that this is a door that's going to be opened to allow people to look into African American history.
Yeah, because it gives you that peek of what Black soldiers' lives were like during that time that really we didn't hear about before. What we have to talk about is the flashback scenes that you all play your younger selves with no CGI.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
what were the conversations like behind the scenes about the significance of that?
Well, I think Spike said from the beginning, he said, we're not going to do any makeup. We're not going to do any hair changes or anything like that. It's basically our story being told from our older selves. So it's like a dream sequence. It's like we are still feeling these traumas even in these late ages. So there's no reason to do that. I think people will go along with the story.
Yeah, but I want to talk about kind of the Spike Lee universe. This is being called one of his greatest films yet, which is a huge statement because he's made some pretty amazing films. But you filmed in Thailand. I heard that he kind of set up this boot camp for you guys prior to filming. Is that true?
We had to learn the technical, the terminology. We had to learn how to hold a gun. I shot a gun when I was a kid. I never shot a gun as an adult. So we had to know how to actually do it and hold it correctly. And because people look at this, soldiers, we're representing these veterans who are going to be watching this. We realized what these men had to go through. And it was very hot over there. We would say anywhere, the lowest it got was maybe 94 while we were there. 116 or 110 or whatever, and it was humid, and we would wear bug spray, but the bugs were like, so what? We don't care. We're gonna land on you anyway. But I think that added to the struggle, and you saw the realness of what those men had to go through at that time.
Yeah, and you can't be afraid of violence if you're going to watch this movie. It's pretty graphic. But we also have to talk about your life on stage. Fans obviously know you for your work on stage. There's a lot of conversations right now about Broadway and, of course, about Black Lives Matter. And as someone who made history being the first Black Phantom, what do you think Broadway can do to help Black actors moving forward? What would you like to see?
George Floyd's death has opened up Pandora's box. And so people are coming out of the woodwork with things that have happened to them. And so there's a group of us that are getting together that are putting something significant where we can help the community and help society as a whole. We wanted to make a voice for the Black Broadway, group of people and to just to know that we're there and to say, we are here. We are here. We are here.
Yeah, it was so lovely chatting with you today. You can catch Norm in Da 5 Bloods streaming now on Netflix. Stay safe and stay well, and I hope to see you sometime soon in person.
Thank you. Likewise.